Oh, hey kitty. You're back for another video? This time on Ionian Boots of Lucidity, especially as it pertains to Aatrox, but not in that champion in particular, but rather in a lot of different champions as well. Well, kitty, you're just in time, because I was about to talk about just that. Yes, you are cute. But I need to get my chair now, kitty. Okay, so this video is going to be on Ionian Boots of Lucidity because, in typical fashion, I was a little bit late to the party on Ionian Boots of Lucidity, but the nerf that it's getting next patch, and it is getting nerfed next patch, I'll go over that in a little bit, isn't that major of a nerf. Ionian Boots of Lucidity has been getting picked a lot recently in a lot of different situations on a lot of different champions, and especially in pro play has become a lot bigger of a pick. So I want to talk about it a little bit because I've been using it a lot and I've really been liking it. The major thing that makes Ionian Boots of Lucidity so, well, I guess outstanding is in its standing out from the other boot choices is the fact that it's only 900 gold. The other boot choices, the real ones, Ninja Tabby and Cirque Shoes and what's the other one, Merc Treads, are all 1100 gold. Now, it is getting nerfed to 950 gold, so by the time many of you even watch this video, potentially, it will already be 950 gold, but 950 gold is still 150 gold cheaper. So Ionian Boots Lucidity comes out pretty early in the game. You can, if you wait a little bit, you can first back it pretty easily at 950. I shouldn't say pretty easily, but not too difficultly. So you can get on your first back. With 20 ability haste, it gives 17% cooldown reduction, 12% summoner spell haste is somewhere around 11 to 10% cooldown reduction on your summoners, and especially if you can get it on your first back, that means you'll get your, potentially your first teleport or something like that. You could get it on a reduced cooldown. So what makes it so good is the fact that it comes out early. It's a tier 2 boot choice. It gives a lot of ability haste, and there are very weak options right now for getting ability haste. So, son, a lot of these champions that used to stack early cooldown reduction, Aatrox, and a lot of different mages, the components for their items got nerfed or changed around a little bit so that you can't really stack as much ability haste as you used to be able to. So I've actually been really liking this item on Aatrox, especially because, as many of you know, Aatrox used to get to that 20% cooldown reduction, and while the boots are only 17%, you get a tier 2 boots and you get 17% cooldown reduction, and obviously the summoner spell reduction is pretty nice, and you get that pretty early in the game. At 950 gold, it's in between a Kindle Gem and a Warhammer for cost. Now, some of you, those of you right now, it's not being nerfed for a week, so you guys have a whole week of it being 900 gold, which makes it a little easier to buy on the first back and obviously makes it a little bit stronger of an item. So I would recommend basically trying it on a bunch of different champions. I think it doesn't do, it's not like broken tier, so to speak, right? You're not able to build this item and it's just going to win you the game outright, right? Like, it's not a broken tier item, but it is doing really good. There's some champions like Aatrox, and this is actually why I started to build it, was on Aatrox. I looked at the pick rate and the win rate of the item, and it was doing really good. It was doing pretty good. The pick rate wasn't super high, but it was decently high, and the win rate was way beyond. It had a really good win rate pick rate combo. Let's put it that way. On some of these champions, it has a really low pick rate, so I can't really say for sure if it's good or not. Like on some champions, like 2, 3, 4% pick rate, which is a little bit non-descriptive, because when you get to that low of pick rate, it's you don't really have good stats. You don't know if it's doing amazing or not, right? But on Aatrox, it had something like a 14-15% pick rate, which was pretty good. It feels really good on Aatrox to be able to move pretty fast and to be able to just get early ability haste. The more I've used it, the better it feels. At first, you might feel that you're too squishy, but especially in the laning phase, if you know, and this is talking about Aatrox here, if you know how to, play back a little bit and use your Qs and take good trades while having lower cooldowns and more movement speed allows you to take those good trades more, so you don't need to, beat the crap out of each other in melee where you'd want to be tankier as much. You can, rely a lot more on just taking solid, good trades. That's it for Aatrox. I've looked at it on Renekton, definitely Riven. And then, actually, I want to say that Riven is a champion that really pissed me off with it, because Riven players kept going it, and I was like, why does this item give so much ability haste so early? It's dumb. And finally, that's actually why I said, you know what, I wonder if Aatrox can do this. And I looked it up, and his pick rate was pretty good, and his win rate was really good on it, and I was like, okay, maybe there's something to this. So I just want to explain what happened with this item. As you might notice, you have kind of like, let's say you're scaling late game-ish choices. You've got plated steel caps, Ninja Tabby, and Merc Treads, which, they scale into late game because they give you something that you can't get from other items. Merc Treads gives you the tenacity and plated steel caps. So I'm going to try to say that more just because, going forwards, that's just what it's called. So I should just get used to it. If you guys are going to be salty about the name, that's fine. But, anyone that joins from today forward is going to know it as plated steel caps, right? So I might as well get used to calling it that so there's no confusion. Anyway, you notice that Merc Treads has the tenacity, and plated steel caps has the basic attack reduction. Those will scale into the late game. So what they did for Ionian boots is, because it gives ability haste, and the farther into the game you go and the more ability haste you get, the less worthwhile it is, right? Because it used to be getting that extra 10%, pushing yourself potentially from 30 to 40% would be a very large boost. Well, whereas now, so what they did is they pushed it to 15 originally, and then later on they pushed it to 20. And so early in the game, it's worth 17% cooldown reduction. Later in the game, it's worth less, and I have found myself selling it for plated steel cap, come late game, because that's pretty invaluable survivability increase against, 80 carries, stuff like that, right? Merc Treads, also if you get into the late game and you're getting crowd controlled too much. I have found myself selling the Ionian boots, building the Merc Treads or the plated steel caps the later in the game you progress, as the ability haste, as you get more ability haste, early in the game, yeah, 20 ability haste is probably worth giving up plated steel caps for. As you get super late in the game, maybe not. So when they moved it to the 20 ability haste, that made it a far better rush item. So that's why it's doing good. Those are the changes that led up to this. Now, again, it is getting nerfed by 50 gold next patch, but 50 gold, I don't think, I feel like it'll balance it down a little bit. I was expecting much worse. I was expecting 100, maybe even 200 gold nerf, right? But they're not going that far. So I definitely believe on most of the champions it's doing good on now. Like 90% of them, it'll still be good and it'll still be relevant. In the short term, for now, it's pretty cheap. It's very easy to get on your first back. I think you only need to get level 4 or 5. I think it is for 900 gold, somewhere around there. The reason that it is such a good rush item is, again, it used to give 10% cooldown reduction, so it would scale into the late game, right? But now it gives 20 ability haste, which does much more early game than late game, and so it's just a really good rush option right now on a lot of champions. It gives you good movement speed, and it gives you a lot of cooldown reduction. A lot. 17% on 900 gold, soon 950. So definitely if you're playing Aatrox, I would seriously recommend trying this out. Most other bruisers, maybe not, but the more ability focused ones, Jax actually, especially Jax is actually doing pretty good on this one. With Trinity and the Ionian boots, he can counter-strike a lot more. And I have found on Jax, being able to get to that second counter-strike more often is often worth more than some damage reduction, especially in the 1v1, and definitely if you're trying to chase someone down. I want to say, this is actually important. I want to add this one in here at the end. Ionian boots. So, plated steel caps only affects physical damage, right? Merc Treads affects magic damage and tenacity. So, if you're being shot by an 80 carry, Merc Treads isn't doing anything. If you're being burst by a mage, plated steel caps isn't doing anything, okay? Ionian boots is affecting everyone equally, okay? So, the thing about Ionian boots that currently makes it so interesting is that it's practically as good as Ninja Tabby or Merc Treads into the champions that those items are good into. It's practically as good as those items into them while affecting all kinds of champions. If I'm fighting, for example, let's say Renekton, right? he could try to one-shot me, sure, right? But the Ionian Boots lets me get away faster from him. It lets me use my abilities more, so I don't need to get locked into that melee range engagement. I can poke with my abilities more, take good trades, right? And then in return, if a mage fights me, if I'm fighting a mage, or if I'm, importantly, if I'm not being focused in a team fight, in those situations, the Ionian Boots is far outperforming those other two boot options. So that's basically my video. Just Ionian Boots is doing pretty good right now. I'm actually kind of excited by it because it definitely is giving me an item on Aatrox that I feel I can snowball a little bit more with right now, and I'm punching a lot harder with it. I'm actually doing pretty good with it. I feel really good with it. That's really, I just feel it's doing really good for me. I feel really good about this item right now, and yeah, that's basically my video. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. You know, tune in when I'm streaming. You know, thank you everyone. I appreciate you all for watching. I appreciate you all for visiting, watching. Appreciate you all. So thank you everyone for coming here. I'll try to keep making these. They seem to do pretty decently. Um, I'll try to script it a little bit better. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm leaving it up intentionally non-scripting, just making it a little bit more ranty for now because I think you guys appreciate a lot more. I know the opinions seem to be split back and forth, right? Some people just like to hear me talk, and some people want it to be on a topic. But I feel like overall, people more just want the ranty kind of side of things, and I'm trying to cater to both sides, obviously, because it's not like, you know, it's not like I only need to go to one side. You know, I could try to appease, you know, both sides the best I can. But for right now, the scripted stuff felt very awkward to me, so we're sticking on this for now. And yeah, so thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys later.